Isn't it more than fair to say, Keith, that Uruguay are a far different proposition than Argentina were, and certainly those forwards won't get the same space they got against Argentina?
Oh, they absolutely won't. Argentina were in disarray. They were a shambolic team, the way they were set up game by game. They didn't know what they were doing. Everything was off the cuff. This is as far removed from an Argentinian setup as you're going to get. They know exactly what they're doing. We've highlighted the lack of Cavani. That's an attacking threat. But it's still going to be as difficult to break down because they are warriors in the way they defend that goal.
Yeah, Eamon, I know you sang Mbappe's praises the other evening after what was an amazing performance by a very young footballer. But how's he going to cope with this challenge, do you think, with experienced defenders like Jimenez and Godin?
Yeah, well, we'll see how he copes with it. It won't be easy because he won't have his pace and power. You have to have somewhere to run, space to run into. And he'll find that difficult. It's a new experience for him. And we'll have to see how he copes with it.
OK, we're going to have a look. Richie, you picked out the defensive strength and unity of this Uruguay side. Why has it been so effective and why is it so impressive?
I think sometimes when we talk about defensive strengths of a team, we can limit the conversation to the abilities of the two centre-halves. And in this team, you can absolutely limit the conversation to that. They're outstanding centre-halves, Jimenez and Godin. And just thinking with today's game in mind, if France decide to do this, put balls into the box, aim to win for Giroud's head, they'll deal with it very, very comfortably. In midfield, Eamon just asked her, where's Mbappe going to get the space? The midfielders of Uruguay just never stop running. It's a team built on strong defence, really hard work in midfield. And this, if players are looking to get space in between the lines at all, they hunt in packs and close them down really well. So I'm fascinated to see how the likes of Mbappe will do. But this is one of the best organised teams defensively. And in terms of the work rate, it's not just the midfield, it's not just the defence. This is Cavani here. I know he's missing today, but this is the work that's demanded of all these players. The superstars have to work hard as well. So I can't wait for this because the attacking threat and the individual quality that this France team have going forward speaks for itself. But the way in which this Uruguay team is set up, as well as just the quality of the personnel, means this is going to be a really hard game to call.
Yeah, Keith, I was just thinking there, you know, in recent times teams have become extremely organised defensively, and I'm sure you came up against teams who were set up that way both in your club career and international career. How difficult is it to combat?
It's very difficult to break down a side that are camped out like that. We're going to see Sweden tomorrow do a similar type of way, different type of system. But how they're set up is one thing, but the spirit they have brings it on to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Godin, the captain, the manager on the pitch, the way he marshals them, the pride they take in keeping those clean sheets, 6 in the last 7. And Richie's alluded to it. When you get the superstars buying into that as well, that's the key to it.
Yeah.
But Suarez has to produce a performance like we've seen at Liverpool, driving for a championship a few years ago. That's the level he needs to get to today. And I don't think he's done that yet in this tournament.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, Eamon, how this really talented France side is going to react to facing a team like this, because it will be different from everything else they've seen and so far at the World Cup.
Yeah, and what they've seen is Denmark and Peru before the Argentina, and they struggled against both. They struggled for fluency, for tempo, and against Argentina they conceded 3 goals to a pretty poor side, which raises a question mark about the partnership of Umtiti and Varane. It's an inexperienced partnership. So, and as Keith said earlier, Lloris has not had the best season for Spurs. So I think this is a huge challenge for France, and I'm not sure it's one they can pass. With Pogba, he's central to a lot of this, the problems they have. He's playing in midfield. He's not a playmaker. He comes into the game intermittently. Sometimes he tries something that comes off, but he's not reliable. This is the World Cup quarter-final, and he's playing against the toughest guys he's ever played against so far. So if I was... I'd be worried if I was French.
Yeah, it's by no means a foregone conclusion, even though they are favourites.
No way it's a foregone conclusion. This is going to be a war of attrition against real warriors.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's right to say this is a match to savour, a contest to savour.
Everybody's looking forward to it, that's for sure, Eamon.